Before I fell asleep next to Kokichi, I felt another urge from my stomach. No, you can't. I shook my head and moved away from him, holding my hand over my mouth. God, what was I about to? He's so cute when he's sleeping. I need to take a nap. Maybe sleeping will help me get over the urge. I'll tell Kyoko about it when I wake up. So let's not let anything distract you, I said coldly. I can't even control myself anymore. I tried to pull away from him and get away from him so I didn't hurt him. God, please don't let me hurt my baby. Please don't let me hurt my Kichi. I pulled him to the back hallway of the cafe so no one could see us. My heart was beating in my chest. Make it stop. Please, make this stop. He pulled him up by the scarf and held him off the ground, pulling the scarf down to expose his neck. His teeth plunged into his skin. He yelped in pain, and I could hear him whispering, pleading for me to stop. He dropped him and slowly backed away. His pale skin now had blood dripping from the marks on his neck. The mark I made. What if he becomes like me? Why did I let this happen? I slowly fluttered my eyes open, trying not to wake Kokichi, only to find he was by the door with 2 plates in his hands. He smiled and placed my plate on the side of the table while doing the same with his own. Good morning, Kichi, I whispered, slowly sitting up. Kokichi took his spot next to me before wrapping his arms around me. I smiled and leaned into his embrace.
Good morning, my love,
he said, kissing my lips before letting his head rest on my neck. After a moment of his slow breathing, he grabbed his phone off the side of the table. I smiled, seeing his back screen, the picture of me and Kokichi. It reminded me of how much I love him and how lucky I am to have him in my life. He just quickly looked at the assignments and put his phone back onto the side of the table. He went to go and eat his food. I felt a little nervous about eating, especially after the dream. Especially after having that dream. Are you feeling better? I asked, looking over to him. He placed his hand on my thigh and smiled at me.
Better than ever,
he said, moving into my lap again after he finished eating. I let my hand wrap around his waist.
Hey, are you doing okay?
He looked back, but I held him against my chest so he couldn't see my face. He can't see me like this. I don't want him to be scared again. Yeah. I grabbed my phone and looked at Kyoko's text message to me. Hey, Shuichi. After drinking blood for the first time, you're going to need some more soon. It could be the next day or the next week. Kyoko. I told Kokichi everything and told him about this, and he told me he was willing to do that if that's what you needed. Shuichi. Is that really okay for me to take some?
Shuichi?
Kokichi grabbed my phone and looked at the messages on my phone. I felt a blush come across my cheeks. I felt tears come to my eyes. I wanted to apologize for the incident all over again. Kokichi held my hand and caressed my cheek with his hand.
Shuichi, it's okay if you need more. Kyoko told me about this after the first time you bit me.
He moved away from me, and I couldn't really see what he was doing because my vision was blurry with tears. But he cut me off by kissing me. My eyes went wide when he kissed me. I couldn't think of anything except for the urge to drink his blood. Kokichi, I need... I couldn't even form the words. I felt my senses start to get all hazy, just like they did last time.
It's alright, Shu. Take all you need,
he whispered. I noticed he already slid his shirt off his shoulder, giving me easier access. I let my urges take over, still trying to be as gentle as possible when I sunk my teeth into his neck. His blood is so sweet. It makes me feel so close to him, filling my senses and filling my thoughts. All I could think of was Kokichi. My hands moved up to his hair, grasping at the strands. He wrapped his arms around my neck and shivered. For a moment, I went to pull away, but he held me in place. I was so worried I had hurt him, but I know I needed blood. I drank the blood that I needed, which was a bit more than I thought I would need. I pulled back and Kokichi slumped against the bed. His face was flushed pink and his hair was all messy. He looked so hot. I bit my tongue before I licked the last bit of blood off my lips. I licked his wound, making it heal quickly. After the wound was healed, I felt his hand hold on to my shirt.
Shuichi.
His eyes fluttered closed for a moment before my phone buzzed. I glanced over at the screen and saw a message from Kyoko. Kyoko, make sure Kokichi drinks some water, and make sure he eats something as well as getting lots of rest. He will be clinging around you when he wakes up, so don't leave him alone. I immediately stood up and made sure I got water and food for him. When I got back to the room, Kokichi was hugging my pillow and crying. I was confused when I saw him in such a state, but I was too worried to dwell on the thought too much. Kokichi, are you okay? I gasped, walking over to him, and I took the shaking boy into my arms. He just sobbed into my shoulder.
Why did you leave me?
He sobbed. His tears are staining my shirt. What happened to him while I was gone? Is this what Kyoko meant by not leaving him alone? Oh. Sorry, baby. I love you, and I'm not going to leave your side. I held him, and he just kept sobbing into my shirt. He was clinging to me as though I would just disappear if he let me go.